Hello everybody and welcome to channel 35 HND Little Hand, and I am Matthew, and today I'm gonna give a short little update of my Oona Queen of Fae deck. I did recently post the other version 1, hasn't really been edited in a long time, but since I looked it over I was like, let's just update this at least a little bit, see if we can address a couple problems. And I'm giving it an update because I changed, let's see how many cards I changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards. That's a lot of cards for a commander deck to change over. You go more than 10, might as well be a whole new deck. So let's just go over what has changed. And we have mostly lands actually. So we have Contaminated Aquifer. Now, I know you're saying it comes in play tapped, it's terrible, whatever. But it's not terrible because I needed more color fixing. The deck was already playing tap lands, and it's an island swamp. And I also took out some other basic lands, so I definitely needed island swamps. Why do I need island swamps? Because one of the counters I'm playing requires more islands. I don't know if I've actually taken out and decreased the island amount, but either way I tried to keep it as high as possible. And that card is foil. You may discard an island card and another card rather than pay the spell's mana cost. So that is crazy expensive to do, and you kind of gotta think and keep the island in your hand. So that is why I put in tap lands that are island swamps to replace the previous tap lands that were in here. And we have Fetid Pools, which is an island swamp, and if you don't need to play it, you can cycle it. And then we have Sunken Hollow. Sunken Hollow is slight improvement. Whenever Sunken Hollow enters the battlefield, Sunken Hollow enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Sometimes it's going to enter untapped. I'm leaning towards most of the time it's not. But the main benefit is Island Swamp. There is one more Island Swamp you can play. I'd rather not play it and add more tap lands, but I could theoretically replace Creeping Tar Pit. Creeping Tar Pit's 3 damage is sometimes relevant, sometimes. Thing is, I haven't played this deck in so long because people just absolutely hate on combo decks. So I've kind of stopped playing it. And my play group is no longer playing combo decks, so that doesn't really matter. So this got retired, and so this could be another island swamp. But I have won games with this, so I'm a little hesitant on taking it out, just because of that reason. And other switched additions that basic lands got taken out for. Choked Estuary. So enters the battlefield, maybe an island or a swamp card from your hand. So another thing that relies on island swamps. Another thing is Tainted Isle, needs a swamp. So it makes a really strong argument to probably take out another land, even if it's another basic land, and replace it with the other island swamp. If I burn myself too much on this ability, they may just go back to being basic lands, because I know this was in here before for Tainted Isle and got taken out because you really do need to click 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 and get mana on every single turn when you need it. And colored mana too, not just colorless mana. And then we have there it is, Shipwreck Marsh. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So that was a pretty good improvement overall. And then we changed and put in Wasteland in place of something terrible. I think it was Tectonic Edge. And then I took out a basic land for Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb wasn't in the deck for a long time because I didn't have one. But now I have one, so it's all good. But just a note on that, if you don't have one, just print it out and make a proxy. It's not a big deal. That's what I do all the time now for deck building. I just don't mess around when I'm doing searches. Searches can go on for hours. Mind you, it's fun. But if the reason you're not like building your deck with a powerful card is because you don't currently own it, well, you're wasting your time not printing it out because you might just forget about it later. So next up is also actually pulled out a land replacement. Most of my decks have 37 lands. This had 38, so I was like, maybe I can just decrease it by 1. That is Fierce Guardianship, because I really wanted to add another counter spell. Okay. And a free counter spell, as long as my commander's in play. Granted, most of the time, the artifacts would be killed before the commander's in play, but maybe I play the commander first on purpose, and then this is in my hand, and it works out that way. You could also play Pact of Negation, but I don't think I need another counter spell. Maybe I ditch foil for Pact of Negation if foil becomes increasingly annoying to play, which it might. But I would really probably need to rework the card draw engine of this, because it does have card draw effects. It's just most of it is tutoring, and discarding 2 cards from your hand is really difficult sometimes. Okay, and I added, let's go to sorcery. Let's find that. I added Grim Tutor over the 4 mana tutor. Let's just find it here in the sideboard. Diabolic Tutor. Because it costs 1 less, and that's super duper important. And I, again, didn't have a Grim Tutor before, but now I do. So that's why it came into the deck. And let me just go back to sorcery, Grim Tutor. Now, another new addition, which I took out Sudden Spoiling, because Sudden Spoiling has made me angry for forever. Does it save you for 1 turn? It sure does. Does it actually move your board position to a favorable like scenario? No, it does not. So I put in Toxic Deluge. Also costs 3. You most likely have the life to pay, and I have no issue paying 10 life to reset the board. Okay, sometimes this is like 12 life or more. As long as I don't die, it's all good. I'm pretty sure there's no life gain in this deck at all, so that is a bit of a concern. But at the same time, you gotta go all in. It's combo. Alright, and I took out Dispel because it's a little bit too narrow, and I replaced it with an Offer You Can't Refuse. So counter target non-creature spell as controller creates 2 treasure tokens. So it also costs 1. It's more versatile. I really don't care that they get the 2 treasure tokens because it's a hard counter. It's not like I'm bouncing it back to their hand or on top of their library. It's going to the graveyard. So, and it costs one. And last but not least, for an update here, we got Scroll Rack. So Scroll Rack replaced Sensei's Divining Top. Not a big change. They sort of do the same thing. And it only costs 1 mana more. And once it's in play, it costs the same amount. I mean, you don't actually draw cards, so it's a little bit negative after a while. But really, top only ever draws you 1 functional card every other time. After that, it's just you're losing a draw because top is there on top of your library. Yeah. But as always, I encourage you to try out my decks. You can find all of them on Moxfield on the same name, Channel 35 HAND. And this one will be posted up there and will shortly be put on my YouTube channel. And that's it. I just wanted to have a short little update for version 2 because when you replace more than 10 cards, you really should give an update. So this has been Matthew over at Channel 35, the hand, and please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good day.